What's up, Yenzels? It's your girl, Luvvv, and I'm back with another one. Literally, back with another one. Welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back, gang, if you are not. Welcome back, gang, if you are not. I bet y'all didn't even know that I could sing.
But that's a different story for another day.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and also turn on post notifications on so you don't miss another video. Follow my social media. It will be in the description box below. Make sure you guys follow. You already know. Let's get into the video. Is actually going to be very, very different. I've never done a video like this before, but I'm not going to lie. Like, I asked some people that's close to me if I should do a story time, and this junk was highly requested since day uno, because I felt the need. Even if it wasn't requested, I would have still decided to do a story time. When it happened, y'all, I was really so upset. Y'all don't understand. I was really upset. It's actually not just one story time. It's about my whole time working at a certain location. Of course, y'all already know the YouTube rules. I'm not going to say the name of the company. The name of the company is going to be, what should I name the company? RAC. I'm gonna name the company RAC, which is a short acronym for racist ass company. All right, y'all. So let's start off, right? 2018. Yeah, okay. So in 2018, in around like October, right? I had applied to this place called RAC. And when I applied to this place, I applied to them and other businesses because I was about to leave my job. I was already applying to jobs to get away from the place that I was working at. Like, I was working at a frozen yogurt place that was paying me close to nothing. I was getting like 10 hours a week. I was so passionate about my job there. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to keep like giving my all to this lady and she's not going to give me no hours. So I was like, I'm going to start looking for a job. And then as soon as I find a job, I'm going to quit. So I didn't quit yet, but I already had it in my mind.
Sorry, y'all. I got to keep brushing this wig.
Fast forward, I applied to RAC. Now, I applied to other places, as I already said, along with RAC. However, I wanted them to call me first because it is a beauty related place. Obviously, that's up my alley. That's my niche. That's what I like to do. So I was hoping that they would call me before the other jobs did. But y'all know how you waiting for a call and it just feel like today, like I can't sit and wait for y'all no more, because at this point I'm really trying to leave like the frozen yogurt place in a couple days, because I was actually spending more money to actually travel there because it wasn't even in my neighborhood than I was actually making money. So at this point I'm losing money, and if I'm losing money, I don't want to work there no more. So I was already like, nope. Okay, so a fast food restaurant called me, right? And I'm so mad because I don't want to turn down the fast food restaurant and then RAC never calls me. I gotta be safe. So I went ahead and took the fast food restaurant that called me. I started working there. Oh my goodness. As soon as I start working at the fast food place, RAC calls me for an interview. And this is exactly what I did not want to happen. I already knew that was gonna happen. I told myself, like, I was going back and forth with myself. I was like, should I really like go work at this fast food restaurant or whatever, or should I wait for them to call me? But I don't want to be ungrateful. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go to this interview, because like, what if I don't get another interview? And what if the place never calls me? So I quit my job working at the frozen yogurt place, and I decided to go over, you know, to this interview with this fast food restaurant. Everything went well. I was hired the day of. But you guys know how you hire to a job, but you're not ecstatic or anything because it's not the job that you wanted to be hired at. Like, I needed money, obviously, but that's not where I wanted to be. So I wasn't really that happy, tight, because as soon as I started working there, they called me. So I went to the interview.
Oh, let me tell y'all this because I forgot this part.
I've been trying to work at this place, RAC, since I was like 18. But when I applied at the time, the same thing happened to me. Would y'all believe the same thing happened to me? Like, they called me late. They just don't know how to get back to people on time, because they called me. And I remember telling the lady, I'm so sorry. I already were. So this time I'm like, no, I'm not playing with this place no more. So I went to the interview. But because I was already working at this fast food restaurant, the lady didn't have any hours for me at all. Like, she wanted somebody to be a key holder. So we gonna fast forward a couple months later. And I know it might sound like I'm just dibbling and dabbling from job to job, but I had a really, really immature manager. She would do all this stuff, ask me to braid her hair in the back of the store, but then I can't even check my phone to check the time. Like, she wanted to be unprofessional, but she wanted us to be professional. Where does that work? You're supposed to lead by example, duh. Like, the lady was just constantly picking on me, but she wasn't professional either. So I was like, you know, I just want to find somewhere that I'm comfortable, where I feel appreciated and I won't go nowhere. So I ended up applying to this job again. Lo and behold, they were hiring. And I actually was really, really happy that they were hiring, because that's where I wanted to be in the first place. So I went to this interview and I told the lady that I was no longer working at my previous job. You already know when you have a job, because if they say, oh, we're going to work forward to do the next steps for you, that means you're hired. Called me like the next morning and said, oh yeah, you're officially hired. I had to talk to my boss, but you're hired. This, you do the W-2, W-4, whatever, and you get started. So the day that I did all that, I started the day after that. So this is like 3 or 4 days after the first interview, right? When I first started, I was a little intimidated. I'm not gonna lie, because this job, okay, let me just say something, right? Disclaimer. This is not your average beauty supply store. What they did was they sold beauty supplies, but they also did services. I'm not going to say which services they did, because I feel like that's also going to make it very obvious of who I'm talking about. But the type of products that they sold are not products that I would use per se. It was more so like the products that the hair salons use, you know what I mean? Yeah, y'all. So I'm trying to learn the floor. The ladies like used today to basically learn everything. Boom, boom, boom. I learned everything. So I'm gonna fast forward like days later, weeks later. I'm gonna fast forward to about a month later. So I'm working here for a month. I'm happy. I like everything. I like my job. You know, it's where I wanted to be. Like I said, from day one, I'm a key holder now. Like, everything was moving so fast. It's like every day I was learning something new. And I was just thinking that that's what I had to know to work at the job. But I felt like the manager was low-key. It was me and another female that was there, and the manager. So it was 3 females there. I kept feeling like the manager just kept training me on everything. The girl that was there was also a new girl, but she wasn't training the girl how she was training me. She told me that the girl who started with me was working for that company years ago, so she's not that new. I'm walking around the store. So y'all, all right, so remember when I told you on the first day she told me walk around to learn things? Like, I was learning different things about the store, and I only realized this like a good month, and I'm so blind. I was helping customers with products and stuff like that, and I never noticed something about the store. The way that they categorized the products was very disrespectful. I'm gonna just be honest. And I see that there's a section called the ethnic section. So off rip, that pissed me off. That pissed me off, because what the heck is the ethnic section? It's one store with a bunch of products. You could just put the products by name. You don't have to say the ethnic section. And in that section, it was really small on a rusty shelf. The shelf was old, but all the other products had a new shelf. Everything was pushed together, and everything was completely like dismantled. Like, you guys know when you go to like a Walmart on Black Friday, that's how the ethnic section was. Okay, cool. A lot of people came in there, but I'm thinking to myself, not a lot of people with my hair type used to come to this location. So why is this specific area ransacked all the time? It looked like they didn't really care about the area. And it just was labeled ethnic section so big. It's just like, I didn't really like that. Tell me if I'm dragging it, y'all, but I'm already a person who's really sensitive. I'm sensitive about my rights. I'm sensitive about me being Black, period. And I stand very firmly on certain things I believe. I don't play around with anything that comes across racist at all. It was like it was in block letters. Like, you know, I felt like it was just like, why does that even have to be here? And then when I start to like clean up, you know, when nobody comes in the store, we will wipe the shelves down. Everything has to be spick and span at all times in that store. So we would like wipe down everything when nobody's coming in the store. And like, I realized that the girl who was training me, my manager, she would completely skip over the ethnic section every time she's cleaning. She's skipping over. So one day I asked her, like, why don't we clean this section too? Because it looks really crazy, you know? She's just like, oh yeah, we don't really care about that section because like we don't really get any customers that go to that section. So it's like the least important section of the store. So that means you're not supposed to clean it, and that means that you're supposed to Like, why does it have to be the ethnic section that's the least important part of the store? You don't know if somebody's gonna come in here at any given moment and say, can I have 10 relaxers? Can I have 10, Carol's daughter or whatever? You can't just say, oh, that's the least important part of the store, so I'm not gonna clean it. Like, that gave me, like, I don't give a F vibes. I could be just being, like, dramatic, but I didn't really like that. Like, I thought it was really disrespectful. So, and it doesn't stop there. Okay, so time goes on, right? So I meet the general manager one day. The general manager is like this serious lady. She walks in, attitude. I say hello to her. She doesn't even say hello back. Like, she was so standoffish. Hello to you. I never met you before. That's what I was saying in my head. Like, wow, like, you're a whole GM and that's how you're gonna act, but okay. So after that, it was clip. I didn't like her no more. Then, like, the day after that, she came back and she started speaking to me. She says hello to me. She's just like, oh, where did you work before here? And are you the girl who was trying to work here years ago and stuff like that? Because I remember seeing your name twice. And she was just like, oh, I thought it was a different person with the same name. And I'm glad, like, you finally got to work here knowing that you wanted to work here years ago. I was like, me too, like, I'm starting to actually feel her out. I'm like, okay, so she's actually nicer today. She's talking to me. Then she killed it. Just when we started to get cool, she killed it, y'all. This is what she said.
It's really refreshing to see some brown skin around here because we don't really hire many brown skin people.
She seen my face. I was really blank exactly how I was. Like, why would you say that to me and I'm brown skin? Like, say that to your other friends that's like you. Like, don't say that to me. But if I said, like, we don't hire a lot of white people, that would be rude, right? So I didn't really say anything back, but she could tell that I was like, like a little upset by what she just said. Obviously, you play a part in hiring and firing people, but okay. I know a GM is supposed to come check up on a location. She was never there. I only seen her face, like, I could count on one hand how many times my GM actually came to the store. When the GM made this comment, y'all, this is my second time seeing her. So then I'm walking around the store again and I see the area that already had a big sign saying ethnic section. Someone went over there, which I feel like it's the manager, because who else is going to do that? I had like a little day off. When I came back, there were signs in the ethnic section alone. Mind you, this is a big store. It was like a picture saying, say cheese, you're on camera, but it was only in the ethnic section. So I'm like, now it says ethnic section. Then it got the camera things in the side saying smile, you're on camera. Like, other little department stores be really trying to try themselves too. They do that all the time. And I don't care what people say, oh,
y'all always trying to say something that's race driven.
You're basically saying we're the only shoplifters. And I really don't like that. Smile, you're on camera should be all over the store because we had a lot of valuable items. I'm talking about like appliances and stuff like that. The appliances were not behind the showcase how they should be. Everything else was out in the open, but you couldn't put a sign over there that said smile, you're on camera. Since I worked there, 2 or 3 appliances was stolen. Okay, but you're trying to make it seem like nobody's gonna steal from over there, but people are gonna steal from the ethnic section. You see what I mean? Like, you guys know how, like, like your manager come, they trying to see how you working, they trying to see like what you doing and everything. She was watching me count money. She was watching me deal with customers. Why do she think I'm a steal something and I work here? Why she keep watching me? So now this is like 2.5 months into the job. I'm almost like, I'm basically an expert at everything. I already know everything. And I'm already doing like little things that I'm not supposed to be doing to help out because we were understaffed, right? So one day, after watching me for like a week or two, like the GM, she was never there until I got hired. As soon as I got hired, she kept coming there and watching me every day. So now, this is like 2 weeks later, she called me to the back. I was supposed to be going home. Like, my shift was over. It was 6 o'clock at night, I think, and my shift was over. She's like, Azaria, before you go home, clock out and come to the back of the office. So I'm really thinking I'm in trouble because I told y'all she watching me, and then she called me back there. Bit like scared, like, damn, like I done quit my last job and she's calling me to the office and I think I did something, right? So she tells me like, oh,
do you think you could do bank deposits?
And I'm just like why? Like, yeah, but why? I never did one, but I was like, I could learn, She's like,
oh, okay, I'm just asking, do you know how to make a schedule?
I never made a schedule before. I was like, nope, I don't know how to do that. And I don't know how to do the bank deposits, but I could definitely learn, And she just like, she was impressed by the fact that I kept saying I could learn. So now, like 2 days later, my manager's just like, oh, I think you have an idea now about why the lady was asking you all these questions. I said, no, like, she was just like, well, I'm leaving. I'm not going to be working here anymore starting from like Monday. This is like what, Tuesday. So she was leaving in like 5 days. So my stupid self, I'm like, oh, okay, so is so-and-so going to be the new manager of this store? I'm thinking that the GM is going to take her place, or the girl who was working there years before who got rehired when I got rehired. I thought they would actually be like, okay, you could be a manager because she had more experience. Suddenly she's just like, I want you to be the manager of this location.
Don't lie to me, bitch.
I was so happy, y'all. I felt like crying. I already knew that when I became manager, everything was going to be different. I was going to change everything around. So I started to practice, in the midst of me practicing, right? In the midst of me coming to work every day and training. The manager was leaving on Monday. This is Tuesday. So I had like 6-7 days to get everything under control and try to learn everything that the manager knew. But while I'm training to be a manager and while the manager is getting ready to leave, she decides to hire somebody. Then she told me that the girl who got hired when I got hired would be leaving as well. I started to feel like, were they trying to like do something behind our back and just go work somewhere else? Because why is everybody leaving? The manager said she was there for 10 years and she wanted to work somewhere else. She said she was tired of that location and she just wanted a change in her life. And then the girl who got rehired, she was going to the other location. So if my manager didn't hire this new hire, it would just be me. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? It gets crazier. So make sure y'all paying attention. If you got popcorn, you need to go pop it because it's really about to be crazy. Y'all about to be like, what the heck? If she didn't hire this girl, they was trying to literally dump the entire store on me, y'all. It was a big store and it was a lot of maintenance. It was a lot of cleaning, a lot of different things that I had to do. And I was just like, I know they are not trying to dump. Even if you hire someone before you leave, you need to hire like 4 people before you leave because we were understaffed when I started. And now you're leaving and then the GM is taking the other girl with her to the other location. I was like, this makes no sense. Why don't y'all just combine the locations and then just make everybody work at one location? Doesn't that sound smarter than to have 2 locations that's understaffed? So she hires this snooty girl who is just like, she was so cool. She was so nice and everything. She was talking to me on the first day. Now, I didn't really want to like I'm having a conversation trying to fill out this new hire and potentially be friendly with her and everything, try to make her comfortable. I'm not just going to jump out and say, yeah, the new manager is going to be me because I didn't want to like feel like I was bragging. Remember, this is a new position for me. I didn't even know how to handle the position yet. I didn't really get the position yet to even tell her that I'm her manager. I didn't really want to, I didn't want to do too much or say too much. So I was like, she's just going to see that I'm manager when this other lady leaves. The manager is trying to train me while trying to train her. And I'm upset because I'm thinking to myself, why don't you just train me? Because there's things that I need to know. I need to know how to hire people. I need to know how to do all of this stuff. She's like, it's okay. The GM is going to help you. She's basically saying this. The things that I do as manager, you're going to have to do half of that because the GM is going to come help you permanently. She's going to take some of my jobs off my hands until I understand what I'm doing. And then she'll go back to doing whatever it is that she does, which was check on stores from time to time. So now the time is approaching for her to leave. This is her last day at the store. And the GM is there to also see her away. So the GM is at the store this day, which is my manager's last day. I was working till 9 o'clock that night and the new girl is working until 9 because she's watching me close. So now she is so mad. She's over there like surprised.
I know this lady didn't give the manager position to her.
Just was looking at me like she had a freaking attitude. Rest of that day, I'm trying to teach her how to close. She did have an attitude. She was mad. Now she finally knows who the manager position is getting passed down to. Now it's literally just me, the GM, and the new girl, right? So right after the manager leaves, this is the GM.
Okay, guys, so I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. And I'm gonna train you guys some more. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know now that the old manager is gone.
Oh, she leaves, right? By this time, let me just paint a picture in y'all head. When she leaves, she even leaves some of her paperwork there. There was a little vase that she bought from next door at this little, furniture place that was next door to the location that we worked at. She left the vase in her like little office space in the store. And she's like, oh, I'm going to come back for this vase tomorrow. I want to take the vase with her. When I tell y'all, this is the last time in my life that I have ever saw this lady. I never saw the general manager again.